over the instructions on the sheet how to set up your page in AutoCAD, and just do a demonstration that you can view in your own pace, and it might help to clarify some confusion that we had earlier. So to begin, my AutoCAD will differ from yours. I'm on a Mac, you're on a PC. So my tools are along the left-hand side, yours are along the top, and so on. But everything is identical, so it's just a matter of finding where yours would be located. To begin, first you create several layers and layer properties. So for me, the layers by default are open along the right-hand side, and you just want to create a new layer. So if you are on a Mac, you would hover over and it should tell you, no, it's not going to tell. So you hit new layer here and you can type in a name. We'll get to that soon. And then add maybe 5 layers. So new layer, new layer, new layer, new layer, new layer. One thing you want to do is differentiate each layer by having different colors. So layer 1 might be yellow. Now, when you double click on yours, you'll see a massive palette of colors, which doesn't automatically come up for me. I would have to go to select color to see that. Red is quite visible. You want to pick colors that stand out on black. Let's go to cyan and green and magenta, I guess. There we go. And then to name your layer, you click once on it and then once again. If you double click, you start going into something else like layer properties. You don't want to double click quickly, you just want to click twice somewhat slowly. I'll just call this object or objects. Oops. So it went to the bottom of the list on here. That will not happen for you. You will have it stay in position on your layers list. So let's just see here. Okay, so the next one, let's call this text. There we go. And the next one would be dim for dimension. And then we have center. And then we have hidden. Okay. So, and we'll get more into discussing what these mean. But for now, just know that when you're developing your objects, which is your main frame, your solid lines, you want to be under objects. So your circles, your squares, and so forth. So you want to be on this layer. And to begin, we are going to, well, it says here on the sheet, we want to set up the units. So that's easy to do. You just type UNITS, hit enter, and you probably only want 2 decimal spots. I like inches. Everything was designed in this course in millimeters, I believe. So we'll just switch this over to millimeters to keep our lives simple, and everything else stays as is. So now you've set your units. Okay, now we'll jump over to the line tool. So you select this, and we begin along the x-axis at the 50 mark and the y-axis at the 50 mark. So it would be 50, 50. X is horizontal, y is vertical. So before you click anywhere, you type 50, comma or tab do the same thing, and 50. Hit enter. So it looks a little strange, but that is the 50-50 mark. Okay, now where you put your line, you have to go back to the drawing, and if you look at the front view, it's 100 over to the right. So you don't try to manually move it around like this. You would type 100 and hit enter. Okay, and then if you look at the drawing, it's 100 in height. So you start moving your line in the correct direction you want to go. If you go over here, it's going to go that way. If you go down, it goes that way. So you want to go up, and you type 100 and you hit enter. Now, if you're in a situation like me, you've gone off the page, you're going to have to use the scroll ball on the mouse and push it down and pull, and it acts like a panning device. It also allows you to zoom in and zoom out. I have a touchpad, so I can zoom out by pinching two fingers together or moving around by holding two fingers and moving around. So it's slightly different than what you guys will be working with. Okay, so let's go left, and it's another 100 to the left. And then we go down and 100. So that allows you to create the first box. Now you have this line still lingering around. Obviously you don't want it, so you hit spacebar and that trims it off and you're done. Okay. So now what you want to do, I mean, there's different ways you can approach this. Maybe you want to put in your cross lines. So if you want to do that, so your center lines, you're going to go over to the, oh, interesting. This drew on the center line. Okay, well, this is actually a good way to demonstrate how this changes. My drawing is not on the correct layer. So I'm just going to select everything. I will, no, not that way, this way. New, gotta get used to this. It's very strange. There we go, everything's selected. To make a selection, there's many different ways. I just held down the mouse and dragged it. You can also click once and click down. There's different ways to do it when you don't have a tool selected. So now that that has all been selected, I'm going to go to, for you guys, it's in the top, along the top, sort of around the middle, you'll see something like this. When you click down and you select object, it automatically moves it to that layer. And you know you're on the layer because now it's yellow instead of green. So never worry about getting something on the wrong layer. Okay, I'm going to split this into different videos just because of the length. It's going to be too big to upload. So the next video, I will show you how to make the center lines.